Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This is episode 4 of my series for the Talisman League. So, I recorded the first 3 episodes last night when the league started. Then I went to bed for some well-deserved sleep. And now this morning I log in to actually find the developers already released a small patch that fixes a couple of the bugs that were apparently in the game. Some balance things with the boss fight and with some of the talismans effect on monsters. So the game should be even better and more stable than it already was before. So win-win situation. Sleep some and get a better game to play the next morning. Let's wither these guys down, shall we? Still not quite sure what to make of Wither. It seems to be it's a sort of a channeled spell, mainly just meant to slow enemies down as they approach you if you put it down and then. But no, it doesn't work against goats, obviously. I'm wondering if I. Ooh, hey. Look at the purple dots on them. They're actually stacking without even after. So they don't expire. So if you just dot them up and then put a contagion down, they actually just die faster. Okay, so this is interesting. So that's basically like all the other charges effects. They stick around and they stack even when individual things expire. It's about the whole. Yes, let's see. So there was also a nullification down here, which was pretty decent for defensive purposes. You get evasion rating, you get some life, you get energy shield, and you get elemental resists. And the path down here, you get more evasion and energy shield, and you get some attack damage, some spell damage, mana regen, and intelligence, all in one neat bundle. And this is projectile speed and projectile damage, and it happens that the final spell we are looking for, Essence Drain, is actually a projectile spell. So it might even be worth branching out in that direction. So let's dot him the bazoo. So you guys think you can set the ground on fire, right? Well, I'll say, okay, I can set it on chaos, if that even makes some sense. It is a mana hog though. Some extra mana regen definitely useful. Right. Let's go forward. Also, we found one of these. Might as well just instantly apply it to my head just to get something on it. More energy shields, always good. And this is Angry Piety. Being angry. Or just mean. I mean, she doesn't really want to share. I always learned that sharing is caring, so Piety just doesn't care. It seems ironic for a character named Piety. I thought the whole idea of most pious people was to, share and care. Interesting contradictions. Also picked up a new trick, a conversion trap. I mentioned it in, I think it was my first video. The idea of maybe just adding some traps to add a bit of body to the build. This way you can have the monsters just fight each other while you drain their life out. Seems like an interesting strategy for staying alive. So I picked it up, let's see if it works, if it's something that I actually think of often enough to do. Question here, of course, is always where to go. And, oh, chests, more chests, always more chests. So for now I think I'll stick to the right hand wall, or to the wall that leads to the right down here. See if I'm lucky with my guess, or if I need to cross over the road to the other side. Exclamation point, go away. So throw in something for the cleaning. So to set the dogs against each other. I think the conversion trap's mainly going to be useful for boss fights. Just isolate the yellow against their own buddies. And then after they have killed a part of their party, then you take more mano a mano. Because as I noticed before, this guy is not the tankiest of the bunch. Dodging definitely a preferred strategy rather than just taking all the damage all the time. So if I have ways to avoid taking the damage, for example by putting it off on enemies, that seems like a reasonable way to do it. Okay. For doggies. Nice doggies, the doggies. So you tap them, you run away, and then you just wither them as they try to approach you. Seems to be a pretty decent strategy so far for enemies that actually have to walk towards you. Those goats, they cheat. But like this. And he's gonna die before he hits me, or before he gets to me. So if I just damage him a bit. And then wither them. I mean, the wither makes him take more damage, so it actually... It all feeds into the strategy, which is good. All goats all the time. What? So... And neighbors have been a bit noisy this morning. Well, it's actually afternoon already. So I apologize for some of the noises that might bleed through into the video. I definitely need something like a whirling blade or something to get out of their face, because I really don't want to be tanking guys like this. If they have a lot of life, then the slow damage over time effect is not gonna be overly successful. Let's just put it out there right now. So we'll have to see. Let's see. I got some goat horns. Might be something useful in here. Bonus to fire gems. Well, I'm not using fire gems, so too bad. I think there's also now a spell that adds +1 to the level of chaos gems. So that's something I will be keeping an eye out for. This is too small. Okay, let's move on. Let's see if we can actually defeat the Guardian of the Allflame this episode. Then next episode. Ooh, oh, you have a talisman. Okay. I like the look of those sigils, but I think I want to step into them. They look like traps. It's a trap! I really tried, but just throwing knives to the face, definitely way more effective this early on in the game. What do we get? Plus 26% increased cold damage and 6 life gain on kill. Not on skill, but on kill. So, interesting. Also, while I was sleeping, people actually managed to make it into merciless difficulty already. Some people are so good at, or so experienced I suppose, at running this. Might have a time zone benefit. In here it launched at 10 in the evening. So depending on how busy your day was, you might not even have the energy to stay awake for much longer beyond midnight, or to that after all. But on the other hand, this is it's not a race. It's a league. I don't think there's a clear advantage to being the first one, especially if there are bugs that need to be worked out. People who push the furthest are also the one that discover the bugs the first. And if it's not in their advantage, then they might be the first to die due to the bugs. So it is a bit of a balancing act. They discover the bugs, and if they're good bugs, then they benefit. If they are bad bugs, then they might not keep their characters for too long. Okay, so there was a yellow in here. So we'll see if we can actually just already managed to clear out his buddies, so there's no real advantage to there was no real advantage to controlling his mind. And I'm imagining for stone circles. If you get stone circles are like strong boxes that it's really easy to get surrounded by them, by enemies spawning. So putting down a couple of conversion traps around you means that enemies that spawn on top will trigger the trap and they'll gang up on their group member that spawned there. Rather than all ganging up on you, they'll stay divided a bit longer for me to assess the situation and then deal with it. So let's quickly sell some crap in town and then go ghost busting, because that's what we do.
Merville dwells in the caves.
Merville dwells in the caves. Let's see. So, not using a bow, even though bows have been buffed, but not using a bow. Not identifying items I'm not going to use, even if they are flasks. Ooh, large life flask, that one I do want to ID. 25% additional elemental resistance during flask effect. That's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. So that's gonna go there. Life regen amulets. Play vanilla amulets have been deprecated in favor of the new ones. So let's put this one first. Elemental resistances are a pretty nice bonus to have. Sapphire ring. I'll stash that. I'll see what I can do with it in between episodes. I mean, currently I'm at very low cold resists. Very low meaning 0. So if I want to do the Merville fight next episode, I definitely should get myself at least 50 points of resists, but that's why I have been stacking up on cold resist gems. It's like, rings, I mean, I got 2 of them. So I can swap those in and it will cost me a bit of life and a bit of mana. But if it's gonna grant me over 50 cold resist, that's a pretty good win in my book for that fight. A large superior flask. Was better than what I got already. 280, no, 278. Almost better, but not quite. Oh wow, we already find the Allflame wreck. So if you guys surround me without actually attack me, great. Means you guys are gonna die. I'm not. Which is like a manifold win situation. With the acceptance, of course, the exception being, of course, if you are one of those grilled turkeys or chickens. Let's see. Flicker ghosts. I think there was some balancing pass as well. That's all enemies of a certain type. Things like Flicker Strike. The entire monster class will now share a cooldown. So only one of the group will be using the Flicker Strike. Will be able to use it and then trigger the cooldown on it. So you won't get all of them flicker striking continuously around you. It will just be one and then 10 seconds later another one. I think the idea was to, especially on higher difficulties, to prevent you from getting insta-killed or just insta-gang killed by groups of flickering ghosts and things like that. I I already have a lot of experience with the higher difficulties, so I have no way to assess whether that was a relevant issue or not, but if they made that change, I'm assuming it was a significant problem. Here it feels a bit tame compared to the ghosts of before. On the other hand, them not teleporting all over the place all the time, it does make them slightly less annoying. Let's see, energy shield evasion rating. What's my current evasion? 38%. Becomes 40%. Energy shield goes up and up and up. I can't wait to get the essence drain. I really hope that it's gonna be the rewards that you get the moment you enter Myrtle's lair, or at least when you unlock the waypoint. Hey, exclamation points. That means boss fight, strangle charm. But also, here, have a conversion trap. Yeah. Hardcore yellow on gold action. That went pretty smooth. So, fights like this, turning the odds definitely good. Usually there's a bunch of loot around. And for some reason I'm a bit low on useful items this time. I was carrying quite some white items and things like that. So I wonder if the Dark Shrine League, the previous one, if that actually had a slightly tuned up loot drop rate or something to account for the fact that you're consuming more rares. Would make sense. Could also be that I just have a unlucky streak. That actually makes a lot of sense as well. Wow, we also found the exits. Actually, let's level up for Wither. So let's have a look at Wither. What do you do when you level up? 1% increased AoE radius. No bonus on the damage just yet. So if we need to walk around the hill. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Fairgraves is usually somewhere around the water. I was thinking if it was a very short trip, I might as well just walk down there. But if I have to walk around all the time, all the way, might as well just finish the Allflame first. Large mana flask. I've got mediums currently, and they're completely plain vanilla. So this is an upgrade. This is not an upgrade. Do I have a white item still? Cool, my belt. Well, actually, let's keep this. I've got some cold resist rings that need to be enchanted. I think those take priority. Orb of alteration. Okay. Current plan: just go to the shore and follow it. Actually, no, it's not up here. Okay. Throw you a trap. Okay. So, didn't quite catch on the enemy I was hoping for, but can't always have it. And again, knives beat Wither. Small hybrid flask. I used to like their concepts, but the amounts are never really quite useful. I mean, 100 life, that's less than half. 70 mana is also, well, a third. So, yeah, not really all that useful, I imagine. Well, I also need orbs of transmutation to buy skills. I'm currently in the stage where those are the currency you pay. So confess, that's 27 energy, isn't it? Yeah. Oh no, I've got some evasion, which is also a pretty good combination actually with energy shield. Because basically they're both main means to shields your actual life from harm. An energy shield is a pretty decent buffer to go together with energy shield with evasion. So from a conceptual point of view, energy shield and evasion is pretty decent. In practice, in the past, it hasn't always been a complete success for me, but that's what I'm gonna try and see how it works this time. Also, I think they are leading me astray. This is not the Fairgraves you're looking for. So the fact that the Allflame was pretty easy to find, and the Fairgraves is now on the map. So how long have you been shouting at your screen, dude, it's over there, and I was completely missing it. Hope not too much. Would hate to cause too much frustration in my viewers. Oh, luckily I did spot it in time. Okay, Fairgraves. Let's see, you're gonna get angry, so might as well put 1 trap down, 2 trap down, 3 trap down. And then run out. Mess up the entire bench and then do it like so. Yeah. There. So, Wither. Not a fan. I convert these little buggers. Right. Maybe not the best of ideas. So even the boss fight, if you just make them completely purple with those wither things, doesn't seem like a very good idea. I'll have to see how Wither shakes out at higher difficulties or in combination with Essence Drain. For now, it definitely feels underwhelming and situational. It's like a temporary buff that you or debuff that you put on enemies to prevent them from getting to you. But in a sustained boss fight, it doesn't add as much to killing the enemy as throwing a bunch of ethereal knives would, or hopefully later on what Essence Strike will do. Also, I think I need to head towards this direction. Yes. Ooh, Strongbox. Let's see. I need this. Cast Firestorm. Well, I don't really have the currency to do anything else, so for now. Oh, we got it. Oh. Just need a moment to get right, so 3 traps down, cast it, run it, make the enemies come to me. That worked pretty decently. And all we got is some things. Okay, so let's just drop all the useless flasks. Wait, was that a greater? Large is 110, greater is just life. Yeah, 260 though. That beats it. So there's a bit of quality on it. That might make it worth keeping. This one is big. Micromanagement early on in the game with regards to currency items. I need more pop. Not a fan, but in this case I feel like I kind of have to do it. Let's make a quick town stop for this then.
Hello.
Right, so we don't care about most of the things. Right, so energy shield is pretty decent. So it's energy. Yeah. Let's keep that. Armor boots. Armor and energy shield. A bit of mana. For now. too much. We just stash all the things. Except for the amulets, which we just take along. Pestle, we got a passive point, which is always good. Which gets us here. Excavation, life, energy shield, and elemental resistances. So, what's this gonna do? Especially to the evade. Another 2% chance to evade things. And of course, a bigger buffer in energy shields. And some baseline resistances for everything. Which is good. Okay, so we head back down. Pick up all the last little bit of biddies. Simple rope, that's another thing to sell. Goat horn, there's 3 linked ones with 12% base spell bonus, which are pretty decent one to enchant and see what makes out of it. Oh wow! Other allies cannot die. Is that the implicit of the talisman itself? Interesting. Well, they might not be able to die, but I can convert them away from the enemy. And then they lose the conversion and their bodies will gang up on them. Which is actually hilarious. Maybe, yes, that was the plan. Maybe I was gonna say, maybe I should aim for the boss itself. Convert the boss. So he will be on my side, I will become immortal temporarily. And all the enemies will actually be killable, so they can just die more or less instantly because they have been cursed with contagion. What does this one do? 30% increased chaos damage. Instant win. Then we got 3% extra spell damage, which is also very good, and extra rarity found. Victory. Okay. And then Caverns of Wrath and a skill gem reward. And let's see if Essence Drain is among the options. So, come on, Essence Drain.
If you must take your chances with the siren.
Let's see, Reef, that's not it. Ice Nova, that's not it. Fire Nova is not it. Lightning Trap is not it. Blade Vortex is not it, even though it is a new skill. And Essence Drain, oh yeah. Deals instant chaos damage. Deals a lot of chaos damage per second over time. 21.5 damage per second times 3.8 seconds. That's gonna be around 75 damage. That's pretty decent, right? Modifiers to spell damage also apply to the damage over time, which is excellent. And you regenerate 0.5% of the debuff damage. So every 200 points of damage gets converted into 1 life. Doesn't feel that strong yet. We'll see how that shakes out. The thing is, I did get myself a skill that I want to have as the ethereal knives replaced. Let's put this one. Let's put the conversion trap down there. Wither there, and put EK there, and then keep this one clear. Sell things and then give it a quick spin and then call this an X. That one is a decent base. So 140 is better than 120, so we keep it actually. Also means we just sell that one. More mana, all the things. Just keep this one here, and then I'll fix stuff in between episodes. Okay, let's have some fun, shall we? Level 12 area, level 13, that's safe enough. Singing Merville. Let's see. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. This is pretty awesome. They actually die. We actually get a spell that kills things. So, Contagion. Oh, that seems a decent strategy. You contage them, you essence drain them, and then you just start withering them. And both of the dots will be amplified by this. Though in terms of numbers, nah, it's probably better to shoot a second Essence Drain. Also, holy moly, this one gets buffed by the chaos damage buff and all the other buffs, right? Essence Drain here. Spell chaos damage 10 to 15 because I just have so many bonuses. 30% from the amulets and the passive here. The damage over time. In 8%, 12%, that makes 20, makes 32, makes 52. 52% extra damage over time. Probably should pick this one up as well. Extra physical damage, don't care. But extra chaos damage, 14%. That's a pretty nice win. And all the bonuses to spell damage, and etc. I'm really liking the Essence Drain. So this was a rather quick demonstration. Let's just end the episode here. So once again, I thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.